Taurus.
Hey everyone, before we start today, I'd just like to address a question that I get a lot in my email, and it will save me a lot of time here if I can collectively address it here to you. So the question I get is whether I give private readings or not, and yes I do. I do it all the time. You will find it here on the sidebar. You just want to click on it. It will take you directly to the website where you can find out more information on the various readings that are available to you, both on the astrological side as well as the psychic readings and what you can expect from those. Alright, so let's get on with it and see what November has in store for you this month. Well, Taurus, this is your forecast for November 2014, and this month is going to be a relationship month for you. We have the Sun, we got Venus there, we also got Saturn there. Now Saturn, that started off a couple of years ago with all the heaviness and the challenges that some of you have been going through. Well, you're starting to feel that's lifting. Why? Well, Saturn is trying to wrap it up, which it will be here by third week of December. So it's at the tail end of this long haul journey. And now this month you have the Sun, which is you. We've got Venus, which is the heart, it is love, in the area of long-term relationships, commitments, and so forth. So you're going to be shining this month, and it might just be a very deep, romantic, and also very intense and passionate month. Your 7th house, Taurus, is in the sign of Scorpio. So when you feel, when you relate really, really deeply to the point where it's all or nothing. You might be cautious initially in any kind of relationship. That is you being Taurus, your earth sign, and so you take your time. But when you let go, my goodness, you plunge into the depth of that pool. And this month might be just one of those months where you're going to experience that. So this is good. And now Mercury here is starting to move forward after the retrograde of October. So it's still lingering in the 6th house of your day-to-day routines, looking at how you can streamline perhaps that so you can become a little bit more efficient perhaps. And then later in the month it will be joining up here with the Sun and Venus in the 7th house of relationships, and Mercury rules communication. So you might feel there towards the second half of the month how your communication with your partner is going to become very important and that much deeper. So the emotions you're feeling here in the beginning of November, you're going to be expressing. If you hadn't done that the first couple of weeks, well, Mercury will verbalize exactly where you're at, what you see, what you feel, and what you want and what you don't want. So we'll see how all of that is going to tie in for you as well. We got the full moon here in your 1st house, Taurus. The full moon is harvest time, all right? And the 1st house is you, your personality. It's also in your rising sign. So you're going to be shining and reflecting. You know, the sun radiates, but the moon reflects. So your inner self, your emotions are going to be reflecting from your personality. And how doesn't that really go beautifully along with what's going on in your relationship sector? So it's between you and your partner, and everybody will come to see that you are in a very happy place from this month onwards. So whatever's taking place there around November 6th, pay attention. Great day for you. Very romantic as well. Then we have the new moon. That's later on in the month. That will be November 22nd. And for you here, Taurus, it's just on the cusp. It's just leaving that 7th house. So you could say there from 21st, yes, it's going through your relationship house, and it's touching upon all the degrees that are lined up there for what we've just talked about, and it's going to be sparking these. So when we get to the 22nd, it's just leaving that 7th house of relationship, moving into the 8th house. 0 degrees, so let's say now, depending on which time zone you're on, but we can pretty much say it's the 8th house. So that means that your intentions this month is on this date to say, the depth of my emotions that I feel, harbor, and embrace right now, I want them to continue to linger and grow in the very same way. For all of those positive feelings, of course. And there should be a lot of positive, deep emotions right now. So it's a great time to actually send it out to the universe, because it has the effect to linger on one cycle for a full year before you get the new moon in this very same area. But what we also say with a new moon, it has the power, a day and a month from when it is. So pay attention to what takes place here until that of, say, December 22nd, 23rd, all right? That's the short cycle. Full cycle is 1 year. But on November 1st, we have a few planets lining up here, all happy because they're all sextiling. So we have Mercury, which is your communication, it's your mind, the way you think, is here in the 6th house. It is sextiling Jupiter, which brings all good things, right, to being. It expands the area where we find it. And for you, Taurus, it's in the 4th house of home, family, foundation, residence, real estate. And so you're going to be communicating perhaps something here of how you can expand your daily life, maybe in a new home, maybe renewing or upgrading your existing home, since it is the 4th house. And then we have Venus, which is love and harmony and money, and Pluto, which is, when it ties into money, it could be big money. This is also here for you, between you, your partner, and also travel. So you might be seeing that you're going to be traveling a whole lot more with your partner. 9th house has to do with a longer distance journey. It's not like the 3rd house, which is like just a little road trip out of town, like a day trip. 9th house is longer, further away in distance, but also in time. So you might come to take a journey here in November that you'll come to love, and find also that it could be quite intense and powerful there when we get to the 10th, when Mars and Pluto connect in this area. So circle that on your calendar. It's a potent day. It's really wanting to drive home a certain aspect of your consciousness, maybe a conviction that you have on a certain ideological level. The 9th house is our worldview. It's how we, it's our philosophy of life. And we keep altering and changing and growing these aspects, but it's also the house of justice. So you might feel that here there's something that you need to drive home on this day. Yeah, sorry about that. Turn the phones off now. But we were speaking about Mars and Pluto, and Mars is our drive, okay? And Pluto's very transformative, and it's in the area of our conceptions, what we believe. So there might even turn into an intensity here as far as what it is you believe. If you're trying to convince somebody, or maybe somebody might come across very passionately towards you, wanting to try to convince you of their ways. And as long as this is an open-ended where you both can agree to disagree, that's fine. Then you can really get the energies going, as long as we're not talking absolutes. And it could be that because it's also in the sign of Capricorn, and so that's Saturn. So there's an influence of Saturn, the rulership here of your 9th house, and the three of them together, it can become very serious in some ways. However, though, the month, as I said, starts off really nice for you. And as we go through the month here, we see how Mercury is going to be communicating here with Neptune, with something quite beautiful, actually quite healing. This is coming in the day after this intensity of Mars and Pluto. So whatever kind of built up there on the 10th, on the 11th, it's more like, okay, now at least you should be able to definitely be on the same page, and maybe the intensity that came forward was a good intensity, so that now you're feeling really harmonized in your communication and locking things in, because here on the 12th, so you see how things are like back to back. On the 12th, Venus, which is love, is doing the dance here with Saturn, and Saturn wants to give structure. So we're looking at structure of love, communicating love. We're looking at how you're expanding towards the ideal, which is Neptune, right? And communicating this, which is Mercury. So all of this now here mid-month for you, I think that's really going to be stirring the pot, especially now because we know that the essence of you is in that 7th house of relationships. So we got a lot of things going. Another main topic for you, Taurus, which I feel is a theme that's running throughout this month, is that you're very much so in your mind thinking, strategizing, how your day-to-day routines, like I said initially in the beginning of the reading, how can you work things so you can become more efficient, not just here and now, but how can you streamline so that your workspace will work and function for you optimally and carry you through the coming months. You know, Mercury's only in this area to help you think these things through once a year. So this is the time that you have. You've been given a little extra time because in October it was retrograding in this area too. So it gave you an extra couple of weeks to really now envision how it is you'd like your future office to function, or how you want the flow of your daily routines to run at home. Whatever it is for you, it could be different for all of you, but you will definitely come to recognize what needs to be implemented, what needs to be taken out, what needs to be cleared out. It's a time for that too. You know, and get things out of the closet and out of the garage that you no longer need. Especially in October when the retrograde was there, I think you were looking at that, whatever has outlived its purpose and just taking up a lot of space in your home or in your closets. Well, it looks like you already have worked on that. So towards the end of the month, we have here something really nice. I always love the good directions of Venus and Uranus when they meet, because it can bring some really pleasant surprises. Venus, which is all about love, it's about romance, but could be money as well. It's trine here. So for you, it's between the 7th house and Uranus, which is in your 12th house. So, well, Venus has probably moved in here a little closer to your 8th house to create that trine. Yeah. So I'm seeing how this really ties in with those things that you've been longing for, wishing for, hoping for, working towards. Both in the spoken world, you might have uttered a lot of this earlier in the month, but as we come in there around the 26th, I'm feeling that something might just manifest for you. We've also had the new moon there on the 22nd. For you, that new moon, as we spoke earlier on, is in the 8th house, and this is now where Venus is. So pay attention to those dates between the 22nd and the 28th. See if the new moon, the intentions that you set out, that you want to have a healthier set of income, more security, and then look at what Venus is doing here. It might just bring one of those things into manifestation already, just after a few days, just after a short little week. Now, we have Neptune going direct on November 16th. And this is nice, because now all the planets are direct. We have no retrogrades left, and so everything should be moving forward. Your physical, practical energy is moving forward. Love and romance is moving forward. Money is moving forward. Jupiter, which is the best support we can have, is moving forward. So we're catching up. We're picking up speed. You know, it's been such a bumpy ride here earlier throughout the year, for the most part, straight smack through there of July and August. So I'm happy to see that we have come thus far. It hasn't been the easiest year for a lot of people, and we hear that all the time. But then again, a lot of you, because of the pressure that has been, think about it this way. It takes pressure to create diamonds, right? So a lot of the pressure that you have gone through, Taurus, is helping you, shall I say, burnish, you know, polish the facets of those diamonds so you can become even more radiant with the essence of who you are. And you're going to start seeing now how that is going to shine through, radiate from the inside out, and how life also is going to be giving to you. You're going to be attracting the better things of life now. So we're ending the month here on a very special note with this trine, and I wish you the very best here now for November. So listen to your moon and your rising sign, but do subscribe if you haven't already. This will ensure that you get this into your inbox when they are published, right? And go listen to your partner's sign too, by all means, to see what's going on with him